everyone. Let's settle in for a little meditation. I want to start us out by doing something called a physiological sigh, where you take one big breath in through the nose, followed by a smaller breath, and then exhale through the mouth. Let's try that. Let's do this 3 times. Settling our bodies into our seats, knowing that this moment is the only thing that is. Just watch your breath. Be aware of any thoughts. Just don't be the thoughts.
Yeah.
And now, ever so gently, bring yourself back into the room. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. And when you're ready, open your eyes.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living San Jose, in person and online. Please join us in our opening song. Stand if you feel like it. Here we go now. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your seat. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's stand on holy ground. Let us stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come
can't sing, but I can say that. Good morning. My name is Marcia Bencala, and I'm part of the ministerial team here. And my pronouns are she and her. And it's in joy that I welcome you to our Sunday celebration. Welcome to this place that I call my spiritual home. And let me tell you what that means to me. So our community is a place of belonging, calling each of us to our spiritual magnificence. And we're companions for each other along this journey, expanding love's expression and presencing peace. We are beacons of light, living the spiritual principles that we teach here as we meet each other exactly where they are, generationally and beyond. We are a safe space where hope and courage are explored and new beginnings are happening through radical acceptance of who and whose we are. Welcome home. Today I'd like to acknowledge our practitioners in service. We have Julia Smith, who gave our meditation service at 10. We have Jan Raissle, who is holding HIGHWATCH. And I'd like to invite Elizabeth Jade up as our practitioner of the day.
Good morning. I'm going to ring the bowl 3 times. With the first one, I invite you to welcome into your breath peace. And with the second, to welcome into your body peace. And with the third, to welcome into this space peace. And from this place of peace, this place of love, this place of compassion, this is God. In me, as me, through me, this is God. And each and every one of us in this space, each and every one who is online, and each and every being on this planet. This is this divine presence that I call God. Peace, love, compassion, joy. Its presence is so strong right here, right now. And knowing that, I know there is divine perfection in today's service. Reverend Nadine's message, which is right here in this space with us, that's God. The music, those who make it all possible, those that we see and we don't see, that's God. I am so grateful for this knowing, this connection, this divine oneness that we all are blessed to be a part of. And I release my word into the action of the law, knowing it is already so. And I invite you to anchor it with me, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Elizabeth. So with today's trends, we know that you have all kinds of options to go to receive spiritual soul food. So we're very happy that you've chosen today to join us here. And we welcome you. And if this is the first time that you're visiting us, I'd like you to consider staying after service. We're having a potluck, and you're all welcome, for nourishment and for connection. And also, please consider picking up a welcome package that we have at our concierge desk over in Fellowship Hall, which is over there. And so now I'd like to invite Reverend Maureen up to join me. So now as we come to the end today of our Conscious Commitment 25, which is our membership and pledge for 2025, I would ask that all of you that have renewed your membership this year to please stand, and all of you who consider yourselves to be CSL members in good standing, also to stand.
And you will see those who are here on the platform with me are putting their hands on their heart, already standing, so to speak. And on behalf of Reverend Nadene, thank you for committing to your spiritual path and to CSL San Jose. We are honored and grateful that you each call CSL San Jose your spiritual home. And I would like to offer you this blessing Reverend Nadene sent to each one of us when we did recommit, when we did make the honored action to be here. Indeed, you bless us with your commitment to the future of the Center of Spiritual Living San Jose. Together, Nadene says, we are rising higher and growing deeper. I invite you right now to look around the sanctuary to see the beauty that is created here with your generous hearts and your open hands. And now please look to each other. Please see who is here with you. Each person here represents the people in the world who will benefit from your membership and from your conscious commitment to this center. Commitment matters, so the world may be more peaceful, unified, and well served by each one of you, now and ongoing. And I offer words from two beautiful elders, one from Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. And this blessing of gratitude that I received this morning early from Grateful Living, thank you, is a phrase that is fundamental to life. It's a key that opens the way to a well-lived life, to a life of peace, and this was from Pope Francis. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Maureen, Reverend Maureen. And please remain standing. I could see that little. Please remain standing. And will everyone else now stand so that we can say our statement of being together? You'll see the words on the screen. We believe that life is good, that God is all there is, and that love is the only power. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other and the entire planetary family, bringing the gifts of active compassion and kindness to the world. Our purpose is to transform lives, build dreams, and reveal God through education, music, prayer, service, generosity, and play. And now please take a moment and greet somebody nearby. so now is, as everybody's settling down, so now's a moment when I would like to introduce our guest artist for today. This person is surrounded by our praise team and our house band, and oh, there he went. He's over there. Dave Maurischat. Let me tell you that he has won numerous songwriting awards, including from West Coast Songwriters Association, Nashville Songwriters Association International, and Bear Valley Music Festival. His album, Who Woulda Known, is available at his website, davemaurischat.bandcamp.com. And today's a special treat because he's premiering a song called Loved. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. How lucky am I to sing this song today? Didn't always feel like I was gonna be okay, but then I saw the truth that always was, and now I know that I am loved. I know, I know, in my heart, in my bones, in my blood. I know, I know, every inch of my skin soaks it up, and I can stand as who I am today because I know that I am loved. Slings and arrows, man, they tried to turn me back inside. But your arms were open, I almost didn't realize. I'm so grateful I got unstuck from the mud. Now I know that I am loved. I know, I know, I know, I know, in my heart, in my bones, in my blood. I know, I know, I know, I know, every inch of my skin soaks it up, and I can stand as who I am today because I know that I am loved, and you are too. I know, I know, in my heart, in my bones, in my blood. I know, I know, I know, I know, every inch of my skin soaks it up, and I can stand as who I am today because I know that I am loved. lucky am I to sing this song today.
Thank you very much, Dave. And we were lucky to hear that. Thank you. So you might have seen, if you watch the slides that scroll before or after service over in Fellowship Hall, you might have seen a slide that said, care to share a 1-minute member testimonial. This being our Community Sunday, we are going to start having member testimonials. And today we are very honored to welcome our first testimonial given by Larry Carr. Larry?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, what a joy and a pleasure. I'm honored. All my dear friends, I've been here 14 years. I've had the privilege of hearing Reverend David teach me the right way to live, and I honor him today. He was the greatest teacher of all for me. My best friends are here, Gretchen, Deanna. All my best friends are here. And it's a place where the lights are always on, there's always a smile, there's always love from everybody I see here. They always got a smile and they want to give me love. And that's a great feeling for me. And I've been doing it a long time. The courage is another thing to come up here and sing. And I sang with the choir here for many, many years. And I was honored to do that. Now I'm back on the praise team and I love that. So singing has been part of my ministry here. Loved every minute of it. And I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Larry. And now, we're at the end of April, concluding April's theme, which is fertilizing our future. And we will have a message by our own Reverend Dr. Nadene Rogers right here with us from Canada. And her message is entitled, Becoming a Compassionate Conduit. Reverend Nadene.
There we are. Well, good morning, CSL San Jose. Ron, I thought you were unmuting me. All right, so you know. Here we go. I wanted to say thank you to Larry Carr because Larry, you are a wonderful example of someone who is committed. You always show up full of love in your heart, and that's why you get it back. So thank you for being our very first member testimonial. And to all of you who are there today making this thing happen and streaming me in, I thank you. All of you who are members who are committed, and all of you there that feel, even for today, this is your spiritual right place, thank you. It's really important that we show up to be with each other. You know, as we learn this teaching, this philosophy called the science of mind and spirit, we learn to become students of greater and greater humility and courage, because we have this awe and this curiosity about this vast, infinite power for good that lives within us and within this world. And we come to understand that Spirit is expressing in us and as we discover our divine humanity and walk each other home. And it surely needs all of us to support each other in remembering who we are. So as Reverend Marcia said, I am choosing to conclude this theme, Fertilizing Our Future, within the concept of becoming a compassionate conduit. Now, conduit is written to mean a person or organization that acts as a transmission of something, which I think means for us loving kindness and compassion through direct relationship with the God of our understanding. Becoming a conduit for compassion asks us to review how we give and how we receive at deeper levels. Our prayers are most often, I think about wanting or taking, having, being, with the caveat of a hope for a better future, a better us. If we could but just receive that God exists already here in its wholeness and fullness, we could rise above the fear of that intimacy with the unknowable and consciously partake in the infinite palette of life's bounty in our lives here and now. And we would not put pressure upon ourselves to manifest abundance in a different form than is presently in our lives. A part of this process, I know, is releasing judgment and attachment to old forms, isn't it? Old ways and ideas around who we should be and how life should look. This all happens in the process of becoming a compassionate conduit. I always believe that something new is always lying in wait to be born, and it's just itching to be expressed. So when we can love ourselves for God's sake, not love God for self's sake, we have become a conduit for compassion. Much of what we see and hear in our world today that we find, I will say, unsavory, I think comes down to othering, based on a view from our own idea of normalization. And I do think it's pervasive to our human condition. And it can shift by living as a compassionate conduit. This very concept affords us an opportunity to remove the scales from our eyes and see each other as we truly are, versus seeing through the lens of who we are and then judging what we see less than. I'll let that one sit for a moment. This spiritual philosophy is not valuable unless we can apply it to real life. A way to see differently, to see through and beyond to a greater truth on a regular basis in all challenging circumstances. And as a community dedicated to becoming responsibly empowered through right thinking and loving acts, we celebrate our common values and principles while seeing how each of us, through that which makes us different, all belong. This is our superpower. One of my favorite authors, Pema Chodron, she's a very well-read Tibetan Buddhist sage, says compassion is not a relationship between the healer and the wounded. It is a relationship between equals. Only when we know our own darkness well can we be present with the darkness of others. And compassion becomes real when we recognize our shared humanity. In becoming a compassionate conduit, we understand the differences between sympathy, empathy, and compassion. Sympathy means you understand what the other person is feeling, even without feeling it yourself. Empathy refers to feeling what another person is feeling. And compassion means your feelings have prompted you to take action to relieve the suffering of another person. So, in short, thinking plus feeling and action. It is, at its Latin root, compassion means to suffer with, which I'm sure you know. And when you're compassionate, you're not running away from suffering. You're not feeling overwhelmed by suffering. And you're not pretending the suffering doesn't exist. When you are practicing compassion, you can stay present with suffering. An important distinction between empathy and compassion is how empathy for someone can affect your overall well-being. If you are frequently feeling the pain of another, you may experience overwhelm or burnout. And this is a common problem for caregivers and healthcare providers. And it's been labeled empathy fatigue. Compassion, however, is a renewable resource. So when you are able to feel empathy, but then extend a hand to alleviate someone's pain, you are less likely to burn out, and you ultimately are demonstrating humanity's inclusive nature. So I want to take you back into the day as told in the Old Testament. In order to be clean again, you had to complete certain rituals. In Mark 5, there is a story about a woman who was continuously bleeding. She had been bleeding for many years, and in her culture, that made her ritually unclean. She had not been able to touch anyone or go to public worship in years. But Jesus breaks all these rules. He touches her, and she is made well. In the Old Testament, we see that people took their gift to the altar to be sacrificed to the Lord, and that the altar made the gift clean. The altar sanctified the gift. But in the book of Hebrews, there's this very elaborate theology of Jesus being the altar, the priest, and the gift, all three at the same time. And what we see in Jesus is that instead of the uncleanness rubbing off on him, Jesus's virtue, compassion, rubs off and makes the other person feel clean again. Every time Jesus heals someone, he brings the virtue and sanctity of God and puts it on that person who is ill or believes they are unwhole, someone who is struggling or who has been demonized. When the bleeding woman touches Jesus, he feels the virtue go out of him and into her. That's what the making of the clean is, the making of the well. That's what the concept of shalom is all about. Shalom is the making well, the making whole, the bringing of well-being. And when Jesus touches with this intent, when we touch with this intent to make whole that which we know already is, we bring shalom. We bring peace. Now, I share this story really as an analogy to a foundational key to becoming a compassionate conduit. And its power to unleash our alchemical nature to transform our own consciousness and contribute to a higher order of inclusion and kindness within humanity. And as we do that, we are helping to reveal humanity's inherent wholeness. Another important aspect of the bleeding woman's story has to do with the theology of retribution, which blamed the victim and was common in that time and culture. So if you were sick, you stayed sick. And you stayed sick because you or someone in your family had sinned. Now, unfortunately, this does carry all the way to this day, even in a metaphysical teaching on a spiritual path, because I am sure you've thought of, maybe more than once, that if you get sick and you are applying your spiritual practices and aligning with principles and doing your affirmative prayer work, you ask yourself, or other people ask you, as an affirmation of your own judgment, what's in your consciousness, right? Not helpful in that moment. But people saw this woman's problem and blamed her for it. So they'll see our condition and blame us for it, because why? It starts in mind first, right? But they were ashamed to be near her. But Jesus publicly praised her, and he said, your faith has saved you. And what a shocking thing that was, because everyone else thought she was in that bind specifically because she had the wrong kind of faith. They blamed her for her own illness. Right? We do that in our culture. We say, oh, if you dress differently, that might not have happened to you, right? But Jesus restored shalom for this woman. Now she could be a part of the faith community again, and maybe she could even challenge their bad theology by the fact that her faith made her well. It is incredible to see the light bulbs of awareness of one's truth and wholeness come on, isn't it? For those who somehow survive extreme pain of both inner and outer judgment. And it's a precious and holy thing to observe, truly. You know, because many of these folks, because of their awakenings, these defining moments, become conduits of extraordinary grace, prayerful ways, and compassion, which are all restorative powers in this world. The Dalai Lama famously said in the book, The Art of Happiness, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. Yet sometimes we forget. We think that people have to act a certain way to be worthy of our kindness. But compassion is a choice. And this brings me to practicing the law of detachment as a path to becoming that compassionate conduit, most especially when the self is in need. Most of this community is aware of my recent escapades with Homeland Security on Good Friday. I really think someone should rename that day. No, I'm just kidding. You know, here I needed to exercise self-compassion first, to feel into the reality of the situation and to take action to support myself in exhibiting, letting rise my mental resolve around a power greater than I was, a power greater than my opinions about myself as having contributed to being there in the first place, a power greater than the opinions and beliefs of the security officers, the processing systems, and ultimately the institutional governing policies and procedures, which it seems aren't always really being followed right now, to know that I was fine and all was well, and that this power was taking action through me for my highest and best, and therefore the highest and best for the CSL San Jose community, no matter what it looked like or felt like after the fact. I practice non-attachment to judgment and to the need to know the why and how and the ultimate what would happen to me. In other words, I was calmly unattached to the outcome of this circumstance. My non-attachment gave me the space for faith to enter, actually for joy and humor to enter too, and could be described through something I want to share with you, known as the 4 laws of spirituality taught in India. This might help you. The first law says, the person who arrives is the right person, that no one enters our life by chance. And all the people around us, all those who interact with us, are there for a reason, to make us understand and progress in every situation. The second law states, what happens is the only thing that could have happened. Nothing but nothing. Absolutely nothing of what happens in our life could have been otherwise. Even the smallest detail. There is no, if I had done that, the other would, the other one would have happened. That's not the way it works. What happened was for us to understand and learn the lesson and move on. Any of the situations that happened in our life are ideal, even if our mind and ego are reluctant and unwilling to accept it. The third law says the moment it happens is the right time. Woo, everything starts at the right time, not sooner, not later. When we are ready to start something new in our life, then it will happen. And the fourth and last law states, when something ends, it ends. That's right. If something has ended in our life, it is for our evolution. So it is better to leave it, go on, and continue enriched by the experience. Now we come together with beliefs we share in common as metaphysicians, primarily that there is an all-loving and all-knowing infinite creative intelligence that is back of all creation, and that there is nothing that exists or functions apart from this intelligence, because it lives, moves, and has its being as its creation. And in this belief, I want to ask you this question. Are we therefore the kind of people who are already understanding that no snowflake ever falls in the wrong place? All things work together for good is a principle, the effect of which is that any experience of life can become the best thing that ever happened to us. Now, I know that every one of us relates to this, for we have all said way too many times to count, I was really upset about that challenge, but now as I see it in retrospect, it was the best possible thing that could have happened. And I understand it now, right? I can put it all together. But why do we wait for retrospect? The power in each thought can only be activated in the moment of our awareness of the thought. So why not accept the possibility right when the challenge occurs? We are the only ones that can ever reverse adversity in our experience. So becoming a conduit for self-compassion, to give and receive from ourselves the truth of our humanity and our divinity as one thing, ever evolving and expanding by acting as such, may be a good recipe for us to consider baking. I want to leave you with something. As we know that we can never become a compassionate conduit in loving service to life outside of ourselves until we enact a commitment to self-compassion. And this asks us to actually love ourselves so fiercely that all the while we are a compassionate conduit, we must keep vigilant honor at the door of our mind and heart. And on that note, I'd like to share with you these words that struck me from a new wise sage I found on social media. Her name is Lisa Marie. And I'd ask you just to take this into your heart. If you want to close your eyes, take a breath and just listen to these words. She says, listen, not everyone should have liberation to your energy. It's not a public display, not a storefront sale, not an all-access pass to wander through the corridors of your soul, leaving fingerprints on things they don't even value. For it should be a sacred experience, a hush between you and the ones who are the weight of your being. Not a revolving door for the curious and the careless, a buffet line for people to pick at and leave scraps behind, because too many times we mistake availability for love and mistake openness for connection. But connection without reverence is just intrusion. We should be more restrictive for what we give, understanding that access isn't entitlement. Maybe it's earned. Maybe entitlement is earned. That not all hands should hold you and not all ears should hear you. Not all souls should sip from your overflow, because you are not meant to be diluted, not meant to be exhausted by those who only come to take, not meant to be the open roll for travelers who ain't staying. So guard yourself. Like the treasure that you are, like the last drop of rain in the desert that doesn't even deserve it. Be soft enough, but not for those who come with rough hands. Be open for only those who step in with care, who only know their presence is a privilege and not a right. Because you, beloveds, were not meant to be borrowed. You were not meant to be consumed and forgotten. You are for a sacred source, and only those who honor the melody should be allowed to dance in your presence. So, let your energy be invitation only. Let your spirit be RSVP required. And those who enter understand this is not just a space. This is all your sanctuary. In the end, we shall realize that what we must embody is the wholeness and beauty of our own humanity. And through the path of becoming a compassionate conduit, we can see it in others' humanity and rest with them as one. Compassion becomes real when we recognize our shared humanity. So join me, if you will, in prayerful consciousness. Let us begin by knowing that commitment does matter, and that each one of us breathes when we feel self-judgment or other judgment, that we pause to remember our own divine humanity, and that within us that is a source of all life, ever moving, ever evolving us, ever expanding in its own blessed, true nature as wholeness and love and wisdom. This is truly who we are. So as we take a step, each of us, towards greater self-compassion and honoring of our humanity, let us know that our way of being in this world is opening the heart space and the mind space for others to know how truly loved they are. And so, as I leave you today, I just breathe the gratitude for having all of you beautiful souls to walk alongside of me with. As I am here for you, I know you are here for me. And we all know together that all is well. And so it is. Amen.
This next song is a gift from our wonderful friend Jesse Powers. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wake wake up early and I see the sun. I don't know how it does it every day. It rises up, then it falls again. Born only to die away. Look in the mirror and I see myself. I don't know how I do it every day. Standing on this big blue rock, not knowing what I'm doing here. Still believing there's a reason to keep on keeping on my way. Each time I open my eyes, that's when I get to decide how I am gonna show up and show out this life. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Look at the clock running day and night. Got no control in those little clock hands. Another soldier just marching through time. But I'm so glad I'm not a clock, I'm alive, and I can choose to dance each time I open my eyes. It's when I get to decide how I am gonna show up and show out in this life. Everybody get up. Come on, get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Everybody get up. Everybody get up. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Get up now. Get up. Get up. Get up. And be grateful. I'm up, I'm up, I'm up, and I'm thankful. Get up, get up, get up, and be grateful. I'm up, I'm up, and I'm ready to play. Each time I open my eyes, that's when I get to decide how I am gonna show up and show out in this life. Everybody get up. Woo! Oh, it's a beautiful day. Everybody, everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Everybody get up. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Everybody get up. Oh, it's a beautiful day. Get up, get up, get up, get up, and be grateful. I'm up, I'm up, I'm up, and I'm thankful. Get up, get up, get up, and be grateful. I'm up, I'm up, and I'm ready to play.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, house band. Thank you, praise team. Beautiful. And thank you, Reverend Nadine. There's a lot in that message again. I'm going to have to listen to it. But here's what I wrote down to take away. What happens, happens. What happens is for us. What happens, happens at the right time. And when it ends for our evolution. So I like that. And join us next week when we will start our new monthly theme in May of Raise Your Voice. And we're going to welcome back Reverend Susan Overland, who will be our speaker next week. And her so for those of you that don't know, she was our associate minister before and during COVID. So we welcome her back. And her message is the art and gift of spiritual authority. And we'll have our house band and our praise team and another beautiful celebration. So now is the time for our conscious giving, which is an opportunity to participate in the law of circulation. We know that even though we have been taught that it is better to give than to receive, often the most important idea is missed. And that is knowing that we must receive first in order to give from a feeling of abundance. And so we invite you to receive a blessing of joy from your higher self. And keep it with you all week long, and remember how much you are loved. The ushers will pass a basket, and you take out a blessing of joy. Wonderful. And now we can complete the law of circulation by giving back. I invite you to invoke the feeling of gratitude through thoughts of life's abundance right where you are, allowing that to fill you and the space around you.
Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for my health, Spirit, thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit, thank you for my health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. Thank you for my wealth, Spirit, thank you for my wealth. Thank you for my wealth, Spirit, thank you for my wealth. My opulent, my opulent, my opulent wealth. My opulent, my opulent, my opulent wealth. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Friends, thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Now, as each of our word has power, please join in blessing the offertory by saying together our prosperity affirmation. The words are on the screen. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and my belief. It does great work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. Thank you. At last, but not least, I have a variety of ways to help you connect with our community. It's time for announcements. So first of all, I want to acknowledge our flowers today. They are a dedication to the late Reverend Franklin Prevett, who passed away about a year ago from the Center for Spiritual Living, and I'll talk more about what's going on after service tied to that. But now for our announcements. Gourmets for God. So now is the time when you better be looking at the catalog to make a bid on some of the fantastic events that we have. So you have until Monday, May 5th, so a week from this Monday, to bid, to win a food-inspired, exciting, community-inspired event. And today, Steve Folks is going to be out here in Fellowship Hall, and if you've got any questions about the events, how to access the catalog, which is through a link in our e-news, there'll be a QR code. He's the one to talk to. Thank you, Steve. So today, ending today, is our Conscious Commitment 2025, our membership and pledge drive. And you still have time to renew your membership if you like, become a new member. So go to Concierge, they have an application there. And this is important because on May 18th is our annual member meeting, and because we're having to reset our database, if you're a member, you need to renew so you can go into the database so that you can vote, got that, at our annual membership meeting, which is May 18th, Sunday, after service. It's a hybrid meeting, and anybody can come. Lunch is provided. So as I said, anybody can come, but only members may vote on a new slate of board members. And we'll also go through the accomplishments that we've had in the past year and look forward to what's happening next year during that meeting. All right, then our youth and family have a spring boutique coming up May 4th and May 11th. This will be Sundays after service in person in Fellowship Hall. And what's going on is our youth and teens are making all kinds of crafty things. And they're amazing things. I always buy something when we have our spring boutique. This time, they, besides selling things for getting them to our CSL annual camp, so it's a fundraiser, they are also collecting things like puzzles, household goods, and the like that they could possibly resell. So go into your closets, see what you've got, donate it, and then come to the spring boutique, May 4th and 11th. Then our next certificated class, I will be teaching starting May 18th on Thursday evenings in person. It's called Journey of the Soul. The soul is really your true self, your authentic self. And what we're going to explore is how you bring your true self to the forefront and allow that to guide your daily living, whether it has to do with personal events, or we're going to also talk about the collective. So join me. Now, finally, today, after service, we have our community potluck, but very special, we have a dedication of a new member lounge and library. So Reverend Franklin, for those of you that didn't know him, he read books. He had a library, and he donated the books to the center. So we have created a space on behalf of his family members, which are joining us today as well for this dedication, Terry and Steve, welcome. We will dedicate that library. So you'll get a chance. We're going to do an unveiling, a ribbon cutting. It's going to be very special. So please join us for that. And then finally, the links to register to any of the events that I've talked about can be found through our e-news on our website, or you can send an email to admin@cslsj.org. And remember, you can find the recording of today's service if you want to go through Reverend Nadine's message again, especially. You'll find it on our website, you'll find it on our YouTube channel, or on our Facebook page. So be sure to click and share and invite others in. All right, we have the youth and the teens here, and would I ask all practitioners to stand right where you are. And just so that you know, the practitioners that have their stoles on are in service today. You may ask for prayer from them. We have a prayer chapel in the back there with practitioners as well. Yes. And on behalf of our entire community, thank you for being part of our spiritual family today. We look forward to seeing you again. Blessings for your week. And now, Elizabeth, do you have affirmations for us? Yeah.
I invite you to repeat after me. I am compassion.
I am compassion.
You are compassion.
You are compassion.
May all beings be compassionate.
May all beings be compassionate.
And so it is.
And so it is. Have a good week, everybody.